pursue these policies of effectively drill, baby, drill, or is there still a strong feeling that the planet is in danger and we need net zero?
Well, first of all, can I say, I feel sorry for my friend Clarcy, because every time I come on the programme, there's some Tory politician criticising the decisions of the Tory government party.
That's right. It's funny, but actually the circumstances on energy, it's a completely different world. What she said, I had to make that point.
Yeah,
with the circumstances we had in 2019 could not be more different than 2026.
Well, there is a strong body of opinion out there who thinks that politicians should take climate change and net zero seriously. I mean, the Green Party are doing extremely well at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, on the current opinion polls, the Green Party would win my old seat of Leicester South. That always used to be a very strong red seat. It's not anymore, obviously. That's why I'm sat here and not in the government. But
We're very great.
Thank you to your constituents.
But on the polls, the Greens would win that seat, and they're going to win lots of seats according to the opinion polls. So there is a body of, there is a constituency out there who wants us to take climate change, net zero seriously, but equally there's a whole bunch of people who are really struggling with the cost of living, and politicians have to look at ways to bring down energy bills. That's why the Tory politician is on in the studio down the line doing the interview, putting out their case. As a former shadow cabinet minister, it did remind me, I did loads of over the years, more interviews like that than I've had hot dinners, if you like. But it's really, really difficult. I remember it back in the early days when I was doing it. It's really difficult when you've lost power only 2 or 3 years earlier, because legitimately the interviewer says to you, I remember you were in government 2 or 3 years ago, why didn't your party do this, why didn't your party do that?
Jonathan, you're right. In a lot of cases that would apply. In this case, and particularly the energy policy, I think she's got a very good command of the brief. The world is completely different. I remember when I was made energy minister in July 2019, it was all about net zero. Now it's all about cost of living.
Yeah, for sure.
That's part of the problem with politics, that there's always a balance between short term and long term, and so we can look back and think, if only we'd invested in renewables. I know you always say, Fuzzy, that the wind doesn't always blow, but there are a vast array of renewables. Nuclear, there was no nuclear power plants built either. So you've got the short term and the long term, and that's what potentially makes us vulnerable to the unforeseen events.
So I think you're right. I think there should be a lot more long-term planning. From an energy point of view, and I've said this on this programme, I think not developing. And that was on both, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party.
Because once it's up and running, it's cheap and it's clean.
That's right, but the initial investment is huge. So every time it's discussed in cabinet or in government, people say, well, it's too expensive.